What's up guys, and welcome to FPL Today. I'm your host JNO, welcome to the channel and welcome to what I consider 9 of the best goalkeepers to be considering for the Fantasy Premier League in the different price brackets of budget, mid-priced and premium priced. But before we get into this video, if FPL is something you love and you want FPL content in your subscription box, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. If you hit that notification bell, you will get every single one of my videos in your subscription box. And check out the links in the description down below if you want to support the channel in any way. And before we get into this video, a massive thank you to Jeremy Jalay, a new patron in Team Patreon for FPL Today. Thank you so much for your support. Your support helps me take this channel further and make it something bigger in the long run. Thank you so much. Your name is in the credits. You are an absolute legend. And it still blows my mind that people would support me in this type of way. So thank you so much. Anyway, on to the video, and we start with the best budget goalkeepers, and the first one we are looking at is Lucas Fabianski. Now, at 4.5 million, he was from Swansea, who got relegated last year, but despite that, he was still one of the best scoring goalkeepers in the Premier League last season, even though he got relegated. He's joining a West Ham side who also had one of the worst defences last year, so it is possible that he will still be in the same sort of environment to get those save points and clean sheets to really get a massive point score. He's also been one of the best scoring goalkeepers long term in the Premier League for a while now. West Ham last season conceded 68 goals, which is more than Swansea did. So there is definitely potential for Lucas Fabianski to step into this side and really make a difference. There's also some players coming in at defence, Valbuena and Diop, who could strengthen that defence as well. So I'm liking the look of this despite West Ham's tough start to the season. Last season, he started all 38 games of the season, getting 9 clean sheets and conceding 56 goals for a relegated side. That's pretty impressive, especially as we go through the other goalkeepers' conceded tally. He saved 142 shots and he saved 3 penalties. So I have high hopes for Fabianski if you are looking at someone to be in a rotation pair in goal. We are then looking at Matt Bryan as another option at 4.5 million to go into your FPL sides. Now, it's difficult to justify investment in Ryan at the beginning of the season because of Brighton's tough start to the 2018-2019 season, but he had a good season last season. Now, I do sometimes worry about sides that get promoted having a really good season first season and then not so good a season after that. Look at Bournemouth when they first came up, their defensive options were great value for money, and then last year they weren't, so much so that they've been demoted back down to 4.5 million this season. But third amount of saves after Fabianski and Butland, another relegated goalkeeper in Butland. He was the one keeper that didn't get relegated who had the most save points. And he also had a tally of clean sheets that equals the likes of Pickford and one less than Nick Pope, who are both 5 million each. He's the only 4.5 million keeper that has form from last year to rival Fabianski, which is why I'm suggesting him. Again, 38 starts, we want a keeper that's starting, 10 clean sheets, 54 goals conceded with 125 saves and 2 penalty saves. I think he could be a great look despite the fact of the tough start to the season. And then the final budget goalkeeper is Rui Patricio at 4.5 million. Now, Rui Patricio is, of course, an internationally known goalkeeper, the Portuguese national team goalkeeper, and he is coming into a Wolves side that's had a lot of investment and has just got promoted. This is probably one of the few times I'd suggest outright a player from a promoted side with such confidence. But Rui Patricio is a keeper that could do amazing in the Premier League. Now, the Portuguese league, of course, isn't as strong as the Premier League, so there could be a bit of an imbalance there as far as the stats go. But since 2013-14 season, he's managed 10 clean sheets or more per season, and the most amount of goals he's ever conceded in a season is 36. If he can get the save points and rival the previous 2 goalkeepers I've mentioned for clean sheets, he could be great value for money. Last season he had 34 starts, getting 17 clean sheets out of 34, conceding only 24 goals, and he saved a shot every 2.4 minutes. We now move on to the best mid-price goalkeepers, and we start off with Bernd Leno, who has gone to Arsenal and could be their new #1 goalkeeper. He comes in at the game at 5 million, and Arsenal look perfect for investment after game week 2 once they get past the games of Manchester City and Chelsea. Very favourable fixture list after this, and with a very good home record defensively last season, there is still the worry that 51 goals conceded was the worst Arsenal have ever done defensively as far as I'm aware. But Emery is now taking charge. He could be shoring up the defence with the likes of Leno, Lichtsteiner and Torreira. So those issues could be resolved. We'll have to be wary of course, Cech on the bench because he is an experienced goalkeeper. But the prospect of penalty saves is very enticing for Bernd Leno. He has a great record for saving penalties from the Bundesliga, something like 9 penalties out of 39 taken against him. And of course, penalty saves will score you a lot of points in the game in a game week. And Arsenal last season conceded 6 penalties, the record high for a club last season. Leno last season in the Bundesliga played 33 games, getting 10 clean sheets and conceding 40 goals. So there's potential there for a decent top 6 goalkeeper at 5 million. The next one we look at is De Vraka from Newcastle, again coming in at 5 million. An awful start to the season, to be honest, but De Vraka has impressed a lot of FPL managers when he joined Newcastle. However, he's ranked very low for save points in comparison to some of the other names I'm mentioning. However, he did also do very well clean sheet wise in the part of the season that he played in, being one of the best goalkeepers for clean sheets. Rafa Benitez seems to be making a very organised Newcastle side that could get clean sheet points. Last season, he started 12 games, getting 4 clean sheets, conceding 11 goals, saving 26 shots and 1 penalty. So De Vraka could be a good look, but the start to the season will probably turn most people off. And then we have Jordan Pickford at 5 million as well after his heroics in the World Cup. And with the fixture list for Everton at the start of the season, a lot of people are looking at Jordan Pickford. There is a lot of interest in him. However, I personally have my doubts over how defensively sound Everton are going to be under Marco Silva. And in comparison to last season with Sam Allardyce, I'm just not 100% sure that Jordan Pickford would be the best choice, with the likes of Coleman and Baines maybe being given license to go forward and returning to their previous days of glory, getting goals and assists. There's also 4.5 million starters in the Everton side, potentially. Ashley Williams, Phil Jagielka. So there is possibility to get cheaper ways into those clean sheets if Everton do get them. Either way, it can't be denied that Pickford was one of the best scoring goalkeepers last season with one of the most amount of saves. 38 starts, 10 clean sheets, conceded 58, which is quite high if we just remember what the kind of goals conceded we went over for previous goalkeepers, and saves at 122 with 1 penalty save. Pickford could be a great pick. It is still to be seen though how defensively sound Everton will be. And then we move on to the best premium price goalkeepers, and we start off with Ederson. I think a lot of people are looking at Ederson at 5.5 million in a Manchester City side that look like they're just going to go from strength to strength. Awesome fixtures at the beginning of the season as well, including playing 3 of the newly promoted sides. He's also cheaper than a lot of his defensive counterparts, and with him you shouldn't have to worry about rotation. So I can see a lot of people going with Ederson in goal just to get coverage of Man City clean sheet points. However, if there is a nailed-on attacking defensive option, then I think the likes of Otamendi and Mendy need to be considered, which would diminish Ederson's appeal. But if there is no nailed-on option, Ederson covers your bases. 36 starts last season with 16 clean sheets, conceding 26 goals and saving 58 shots. Penalty saves was also at 2. Ederson, of course, would be a very easy one to put into your sides and then just forget about replacing him. The next one we look at is Hugo Lloris, again 5.5 million, with no Spurs defensive option coming in at under 6 million. This makes Hugo Lloris very, very appealing. There is Kyle Walker-Peters, but I very much doubt he's going to be nailed on for the majority of the season. So Hugo Lloris's appeal has been hugely boosted by the fact that every other Tottenham Hotspur's defender is so expensive. Coming off a World Cup win and more saves than Ederson, with only 1 less clean sheet. It's only really the fixtures that include Manchester United and Liverpool in the beginning that really diminish his appeal, and the fact that Spurs have a lot of players coming back from international duty. Last season, 36 starts with 15 clean sheets, conceding 35 goals, however getting 90 saves with no penalty saves, so Lloris is another one to consider. And then we get on to David De Gea, £6 million, but you know what you're getting with David De Gea. There is no denying he's one of the best keepers in the world, even if we look past his disappointing World Cup. And at a 6 million price tag, while that will diminish the interest in him, he is nailed on, which again is a really valuable thing in a Manchester United side that potentially could see rotation in defence. And he got 116 saves last season, which is close to the likes of Matt Ryan and the more budget choice keepers who are in sides that are meant to make more saves because they're conceding a lot more shots. But there are options at Man United at 5.5 million. And you've got attacking options like Ashley Young as well, around the same price. There's other ways you could look at the Man United defence, but the assurance of start could be the tipping factor to people just putting David De Gea in and forgetting about their goalkeeper for the rest of the season. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode as always. If you've enjoyed it, again, please support the channel by hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. And also hit a like on the video. We are seeing some great growth, so welcome everyone that has joined the FPL Today flock. Thank you so much. Look out for the streams. They're so much fun with the whole subscriber base, just chatting about FPL. Also, do go and check out FPL Wildcats. There should have been a video yesterday where I did just highlight our new stream partnership with a bunch of other creators. That should be a very interesting project for this season. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.